So let's face it, AI, Claude, ChatGPT, they suck at making thumbnails until you figure out the right workflow and skill to be able to do it for you. Now I pretty much do all of my thumbnails using AI. And if you want to see the results, you can go through my YouTube channel, or you can check out some of these here that my Claude just opened from previous videos. These are all generated completely with AI, and now we pretty much one-shot these with a few simple instructions. Now, out of the box, I'm not gonna lie, it completely sucks at making thumbnails. You can tell it to make one and it's gonna look like slop. So if you want it to not look like slop, you have to do a few things. You have to follow a very specific set of processes that I've put together I'm gonna share with you today, so you can get really good, high quality looking thumbnails in a single shot. Now I've turned that process into both a Claude Code skill. So if you come into leadgenj.com/skills, you can see my YouTube thumbnail skill, which is right here. We're on version 1.2. And I've got a complete AI system, the YouTube Pro Creator system, that does everything when it comes to YouTube videos. Researching ideas, mining comment gaps, writing scripts, making thumbnails, and actually uploading it, writing the description, doing the SEO work. If you're interested in that, it's available. But let's go into the actual thumbnail generation. And I decided to make this video right now because I have a video to post. By the time you're watching this, this will have already been live, so you'll get to see the thumbnail making process of me actually doing it. And you'll see the one that my team made does not look very good. So here's Notion, where we kind of track everything. By the way, this Notion task was created by Claude Code. All I had to do was film the video and give it the telelink. It transcribed it, created a Notion task, did all of the description and research, and then my team took over from here. And you can see them commenting. We've got my creative director, and they took their best shot at doing AI generated thumbnails using my skills, but they missed a couple steps. That one doesn't quite look like me. I like to be the one that has the final say and the creative mind behind packaging our videos. So because I don't like their variations so much, this one's okay, but I want to create my own. So I've got my skill, I've got my workflow, and I'm actually going to do this one inside of Codex because it's a little bit prettier, and I've actually never done this inside of Codex before, so I hope this works. But I imported all of my Claude Code skills and documents into Codex, so it should be able to do everything correctly. And I've already kind of gone ahead and given it instructions. So we've got this YouTube thumbnail skill. We just call it by doing /YouTube thumbnail. And here we've got all of my other skills. So I called it here. And then I want to give it a few pieces of information. The first thing that's needed in order for it to create really good thumbnails is some source material. So it's not very good at coming up with them from scratch. But what I've realized is if you do a little bit of research, so this video is about free Gmail hacks. So I just came in to YouTube and I looked for a couple keywords that I think could be good for this video. And I want to find some outliers, some top performers. So I'm looking at channels that have like 42.6x, like this one really outperformed. So I'm looking for inspiration and ideas for what kind of thumbnails that I can replicate, because it's probably not going to be good at doing, I'm going to use this guy here for example. I'm going to open up his thumbnail. By the way, this is VidIQ that I have running on the side. There's a completely free version that gives you access to like the analytics and be able to see their thumbnail gallery. It'll be great at coming up with a picture of me, the text, but it won't be great at that, coming up with like the before and after. So why let it struggle? I'm just gonna give it the before and after. So I'm just gonna copy the image address here and come back into my Codex. And that's all I pasted here. Like number one, I want it to body swap me. Now it already has access to a whole bunch of photos of me for what to use. And by the way, those photos are also AI generated. It's got me smiling, me pointing, angry face, sad face. And then I'm just gonna give it some instructions. Add Gmail icon to before or after image. Text, guaranteed Gmail opens and replies. Now the one that I just showed you, this one is not the one I'm giving instructions on. That one's the number 3 on my list. This is the one that I'm giving instructions on. I wanna add a Gmail icon here. I want to change the face and body. I wanna change the text. But I like the concept, the before and after, landing in promotions, landing in primary. I want to reuse this. So let's come back into Codex and just know that I did that 3 times. I gave it a source. I said body swap me. I probably don't even need to say that, but I did anyways. And I give it the changes that I want it to make. Now the key in order for this to work, and this is how the skill works. This is the sauce. This is the gold. And you can see it here. It's a 9-step workflow. The last step of this workflow is what I call a critical feedback loop. So I don't want to see the thumbnail until it's perfect. So what that means is Claude is going to continue to iterate and change and fix the prompt and fix the thumbnail until it has something that's worthy of showing me for feedback. Because if I just keep going back and forth with it on mediocre variations, it's gonna take me too long. That's why it one-shots it pretty much every time, because it gets done with a variation, takes a screenshot of it, analyzes it, and says, this is ready for Jay's eyes, or this needs to go through another round, let's fix the prompt and let's do it again. Now, those critical feedback loops can take a lot of credits, especially if you're generating video or image, but they're well cheaper than paying a thumbnail designer, and it saves me time, so it's worth my time. And by the way, all of those critical feedback loops, the prompts that it has to redo over and over again, those are lessons that can be rebuilt into the skill to constantly improve the skill so it gets better and better. All right, so let's go ahead and run it now. Now, this is running right now on Sol 5.6 high. It probably doesn't need that much power to run the skill, so I'm gonna change it to medium. This is still probably too much power. And I'm gonna go ahead and run it. And this is a fun experiment too, by the way, because usually I do this with Claude Code. I've never done this inside of Codex with Sol. So I'm curious to see how it performs. The main reason that I wanted to try this inside of Codex is Codex actually handles like browser automation and desktop automation a lot better. So I'm hoping that Codex will be able to see it better, take action better, analyze it better, and all happen self-contained within this Codex app. It's also a way prettier way for me to show you this rather than showing you how I normally use this, which is here in terminal. This is the ugliness going on the other side of my screen. It's gonna be about $1.32 total for the 3 first pass finals, plus another 12 cents for upscaling. Now, a couple notes in order to get this to work the right way. It needs access to a couple of things. The first thing it needs access to is Fal.ai. So it's doing analysis right now. Fal.ai is a platform that we use to access all of the latest generative AI models. So in order for us to do image generation or video generation, even voice cloning, instead of managing API keys at Grok and Gemini and Cdance, we just use Fal.ai, which you pay the exact same amount that you would to all of those different platforms, but now it can access all of these platforms with a single API key. So I'm pretty much using this for everything that's generative image. Now, whenever it's doing image generation, the best by far at the time of recording this video, which is July 15th, GPT Image 2. And we're primarily using GPT Image 2 Edit just to substitute and change things around in the thumbnail. So keep everything else the same, just change the background. Keep everything else the same, just change the face. Now, one important note that I learned as a learning experience when running this is if you just try and do a face swap, it looks super awkward. If you take one person's face, swap my face on, it's still got their body, don't do that. You wanna do a full body swap. So take out their whole body, put my whole body in. So it needs access to Fal.ai, and it needs to use the correct model within Fal.ai, which in this case, GPT Image 2. The second thing it needs is a database of images of you. Now, I tried a variation of this workflow. All right, so let me actually just show you the database of images of me that this thing works off of. And all of these are AI generated, and I only had to do these one time. And I did them using Flux LoRa and a critical feedback loop. So it would generate an image of me, compare it to an actual image of me, and make sure that it looked like me over and over again. So he had me in different outfits, hairstyles, facial expressions. So by the way, while I'm in here, cloud.nextwave.io, this is an open source software that basically replaces Dropbox. I have unlimited storage. It runs on my supercomputer. And this is what me and my team now use for file storage and sharing. So right now I'm gonna come into database, which is what it essentially works off of. Let's change this to icons. And this is just a database of images of me that now my thumbnail designer can use to grab images of me in different clothing with different facial expressions. And it says what my facial expression is and what I'm wearing. So it knows exactly what to grab for which situation. And this way, I know that the picture of me that it's gonna put in there actually looks like me. And I don't have to take stupid photos for thumbnails all the time. I'll never have to do that again. Now, as this is running, and this actually takes a while because it's calling Fal.ai to do the image generation a bunch of times, and then it's going to review all of those image generations to give me the final result. So I'm gonna let that run and do its thing. Now, there's one other component that you're going to need in order to make this work, especially if you're someone like me who does a lot of software videos talking about other products and tools. You're probably gonna need the logos and icons for all of those products and tools. And there's no just good place to go and get them. So we're gonna come back to visual assets and come into logos, tool logos. Now this folder has pretty much all of the tools and logos and icons. We try and get like a full-size logo and a full-size icon for all of the tools that I generally make videos about and work with. This way, when my AI needs to generate an image with one of these logos or icons, which is all the time, it has a repository that it can just go in and grab the right logos, grab the right icons. If we're ever missing any, I just put them into this folder, label it correctly, and now it has access to those things. And as a thank you for making it this far and watching the video, helping out with the channel, I'm gonna give you access to this entire tool logos folder. There's nowhere else to get this. You could spend your own hours building a logo repository like this, or check down in the description of this video and you'll be able to download this. And just because I love you extra, you'll also be able to download my YouTube thumbnail skill. However, if you do want the YouTube thumbnail skill or the YouTube Creator Pro AI system that has the YouTube thumbnail skill, all of my other skills, and it'll actually do everything for you, competitor research, write the script, check the comments, write the YouTube description, actually get it ready for publishing. The YouTube Pro Creator System, if you want access to this, you do need to be a member of our AI Automation Insider. So if you're interested in that as well, the link is going to be down below. All right, just checking back in, generation's underway. The first remix is still processing, which is normal for 4 high quality variants. After each set returns, I'll compare all 4 at mobile scale and only body swap the strongest version, avoiding unnecessary paid swaps. I'm really curious to see how Codex does with this task that I've been using Claude Code Opus for the longest time. 12 remix candidates are now generated. I'm at the visual selector gate, exact spelling, Gmail logo fidelity, mobile readability, preserved hands cards, all of these rules that I've built in. Guys, it's important to know that skills are not just prompts. Even though, yes, this YouTube thumbnail skill is just a MD file with documentation, there's also this evals JSON. And the skill file itself goes way deeper than just here's a prompt. It's all of the rules, all of the gotchas, all of the edge cases that I've built and resolved and found workarounds for over the course of the year that I've been working on this. This is why if you try and just generate a thumbnail with Claude Code, it's going to suck. And it's going to take you a lot of back and forth in order to get it right. There's so many things that it messes up that you would never expect it to mess up. All of these edge cases, and they're all accounted for in these AI systems. This is one of the reasons I'm now teaching AI systems and not just skills, because these AI systems aren't just skill files. Skill files are useless on their own. A system involves tooling, how to use Appify, how to use your own YouTube Analytics version 3.0 to evaluate your channel and find opportunities, how to use Fal AI, how to run critical feedback loops, what to look for, what rules to follow, what are some of the gotchas to look for that AI has missed before. All of those things together combine to make an AI system. And that's how you end up getting a great result the first time running something that other people are not able to get or replicate. It's because of the entire system. All right, checking on progress. Number 1, variant 2, best balance between the long promise and full visible before and after panel. Variant 3, clearest 2-row checklist with the most natural pointing hand. Variant 3, number 3, strongest orange composition, clean J avatar, readable full band. Now running 1 body swap per selected candidate. So it's doing another GPT image edit to take the body out of the original one and replace it with one of mine. All right, you ready for the big reveal? Number 1 is finally done, so let's see what it came up with for idea number 1. Guaranteed Gmail opens and replies before and after with a great looking picture of me. This is a super professional looking thumbnail. I'm very happy with this. There might be a couple small modifications I would consider doing, but I think overall it did an awesome job. So I'm perfectly happy to run this one. I'm gonna keep this one, and this is gonna be one of my A/B tests. All right, just picking up, we've got a couple more that are actually ready for review. So let's actually show you the second one, which turned out really good. This is the second one. Did pretty perfect, exactly what I wanted it to do. Looks natural, awesome. Now let me show you what turned out kind of bad. And they're not always perfect the first run, and this is the command that I gave it, because it seems to be struggling with number 3. This is number 3, where, okay, right side looks okay. My face looks a little like Play-Doh, so hopefully it fixes that, but this is the big problem. So the avatar image that it used looks like poop. This looks like a clay figure. And I really wanted it to use my name, not Joe Zeppelin. So I actually told it in Codex to swap the avatar image and change name to J Feldman. And it's in the process of doing that now. Now this whole thing took about 10 minutes to do all together. And if I didn't record this on video, wasn't doing it in Codex, it would probably happen a lot faster. But it all essentially happens in the background, just with a 5 minutes of research and some simple commands. And these results turn out way better than relying on a video thumbnail team, which I used to have. I used to have 2 or 3 thumbnail designers, and most of them were trash, charging $50 per thumbnail. Now we're able to do all of this for pennies on the dollar, just like $1.50 for all of those generations. And what it gives me is almost always perfect on the first round. So what I'm generally doing now is I'm having my video editing team take the first crack at it, and sometimes they do a really good job. In fact, the previous video that I posted, this never send bad cold emails again, I pretty much just ran with all of the thumbnails that they designed because all of them were pretty good. So I do like to test a few different variations on these so we can A/B test them here. And as you can see in analytics, we're running the A/B test through YouTube so I can view the test report and it can show me which ones won. And then I can continue to kind of learn from that and figure out why one won over the other. So a lot of these are very similar. We're just kind of changing the words, changing the backgrounds, changing the concepts. That's the reason that when I'm doing these tests, I'm using very different concepts, very different ideas, very different templates. And I'm using lots of different people's templates to see what is the trend, what works best, so that we can continue to improve these AI systems. Because round 1 of this is not going to be it. You can install this now. Maybe you get access for a day, you get access to this system, this skill set. But a month from now, this thing is going to be completely different. So I just wanted to share with you kind of my full end-to-end process for generating these thumbnails. And then by default, it will add all of the thumbnails into Nextcloud, it'll add them into Notion, and it'll add them into my downloads so I can easily access them. And as you can see here in my downloads, there they are. There's the thumbnails that it's generating, so I can really quickly just put them into my YouTube video and start running these tests. Now, if you want access to all of my Claude Code skills, you can go to leadgenj.com/skills. Now, if you see LGJ exclusive and it's got this little crown, it's going to be exclusively for our AI Automation Insider. So if you are interested in joining, you should come to leadgenj.com/AIA, that's AI Automation, and get inside here now. Lifetime access, you'll get access to all of my AI systems and our skills. Get in there now, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like and a comment if you got value, and I'll see you soon.